This is an AI short film made entirely with Seedance 2.0. Cinematic shots, lip-synced dialogue, all done with one tool in less than 3 hours.
Welcome. We've been expecting someone for about 50 years. It's nice to see something other than a rover.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
It's quite all right. The rovers were lovely company.
How long have you been here?
Longer than you. This was my idea.
It was my idea.
We had the same idea. That's how this works.
Most people who try to make AI films are getting stuck in the same place. The characters look different in every shot. The cuts don't connect. Or worse, it just looks like AI slop. But Seedance 2.0 inside Higgsfield changes all of that. With sound and visuals processed in the same pass and multiple shots inside a single generation, this model has rewritten the rules for AI filmmaking. By the end of this video, we'll have walked through the exact 6-step framework for building a cinematic AI short film from scratch. We're using Higgsfield because it has every model and every Seedance 2.0 feature in one place. And one of the techniques we'll break down later is going to reveal why this model is in a different league than anything that came before it. Let's get into it. The temptation to fire up Seedance 2.0 and start generating is exciting, but that's where most AI films fall apart. They end up with one shot that looks great, another that looks completely different, and no through line between them. So before we even touch the generate button, we'll start with a plan. For our film, the concept is simple. It's about a man who can teleport anywhere in the universe. The film follows him traveling to 3 different planets across the galaxy, each one stranger than the last. And once the concept is locked in, it helps to turn it into a visual shot list. We'll have a maximum of 2 characters per scene and 1 generation per location. This gives us a quick layout of every scene we need to generate so that we know exactly what to build before we open any tools. With the shot list complete, this next step is the one most people skip. And skipping it is exactly why their characters don't look the same from one shot to the next. And if we can get this part right, the rest of the workflow basically takes care of itself. So for step 2, before we generate a single scene, we'll lock in exactly what every character looks like permanently. For Liam, our protagonist, we'll generate his character sheet inside Higgsfield using Nano Banana Pro. It'll need to be a front view, side view, back view, and a close-up. All prompts are linked in the description. Once the character sheet is generated, we're going to upload it to Soul ID character. This is the part that does the heavy lifting. Soul ID is what lets us tag a character with the @ symbol inside any future prompt. So instead of describing Liam from scratch every single time, we'll just type @Liam, and the model will handle his look automatically. Just like that, we'll get the same character for every shot. Next, we'll do the same thing for the other 2 characters that Liam encounters on his travels. The Martian, the sea creature. And once the character references are complete, we'll apply the same logic to all the environments that Liam will travel to, starting with the Mars environment, an underwater ocean, and something I like to call the mirror planet. Now all our intergalactic locations are generated. Every character is locked in, taggable, and reusable across every single shot. All we need are scenes for them to show up in. And this is where we actually start building shots. But here's the rule that almost no one follows. We never animate from text alone. Every single shot needs to start as an image first. This is called a keyframe, one strong, well-composed image that captures exactly what the shot should look like before any movement happens. Think of it like a film still. A strong keyframe takes 90% of the work off Seedance's plate, so all it has to focus on is adding motion. And that's when results get really good. So for step 3, we're going to build our keyframes using Cinema Studio. Cinema Studio gives us full access to our reference library of characters, locations, and props, all in one place. This is also where we'll upload all our environment references as elements. That way we can tag them with the @ symbol in our prompts, the same way we tagged our characters. Here's a prompt example for our Mars keyframe. We'll have Liam standing on Mars with the Martian a few meters away. The composition is clean, the lighting is realistic, and the right characters are in the correct environment. This will now become the reference image for the actual video generation. We'll do this for every shot on the shot list. And by the end of this step, we'll have all our keyframes for each scene. After that, Seedance only needs to do one thing: bring them to life. So when we write our prompts for this next step, we're not describing how characters appear or what the environment looks like. We're only describing motion, what moves, how it moves, and how the camera behaves. But here's a quick tip before we go further. Always add no subtitles, no text, no captions to the prompt every single time. Seedance has a habit of auto-generating subtitles on dialogue scenes, whether we ask for them or not. Now, before we get into the actual scenes, there's one feature I want to start with, because every single time Liam teleports in our film, he snaps his fingers. And that snap needs to look identical, with the same hand and the same exit timing. To achieve that, we're going to use motion copy. Motion copy lets us take the movement from any reference video and apply it directly to our character. And the workflow looks like this. In Cinema Studio, we'll upload a quick clip of someone snapping their fingers, plus a neutral keyframe of Liam. Then we need to write a short prompt telling the model to apply the snapping motion to the Liam keyframe. And there it is, Liam's body with the source clip's motion. This is how every snap in the film stays consistent. Now let's get into the actual scenes, starting with Liam landing on Mars. The process is simple. We're going to upload the Mars keyframe with Liam and the Martian. Then we'll move on to our motion prompt. This is where we tag the characters and the location with the @symbol, exactly like we did when we built the keyframe. The rest of the prompt is just describing the action, dialogue, and sound design. And the generation we get is doing something most AI video tools still can't do cleanly.
Welcome. We've been expecting someone for about 50 years. It's nice to see something other than a rover.
Oh, sorry, I didn't realize.
It's quite all right. The rovers were lovely company.
See, most tools generate the video first, then bolt the audio on top. But Seedance 2.0 processes both at the same time, in the same generation. That's why everything sounds like it actually belongs in the scene. And the native audio sync ensures that the lip sync is perfect on the first try. But here's where this model did something I genuinely didn't think was possible. Because if you noticed, Seedance handled multiple shots inside a single generation. This is the technique I mentioned at the start, the one that puts Seedance in a different league than every other model. But let's test out another scene from our film to see this feature in full effect. We'll generate the scene of Liam meeting the sea creature underwater. That whole sequence, Liam falling through the ice, being suspended underwater, and the creature swimming up is one prompt. All we did was tell Seedance the structure of the cuts inside our prompt, and it handled all of them in a single pass. That's multi-shot storytelling. And it's the closest I've seen any model get to actually directing itself. But here's the thing. Even with multi-shot storytelling, every clip we just generated is still a separate piece. So how do we connect everything into one continuous film? The answer is built right into Seedance. It's called Video Extension, which lets us take any existing clip and grow it from where it ended. In step 5, the workflow uses the same system we've been using for everything else. All we need to do is upload the clip we want to extend into our workspace, and Cinema Studio gives it a tag, just like a character or a location. Then we need to write a short motion prompt that describes what should happen next. We don't need to describe the lighting, the color grade, or the environment again. Seedance reads the source clip and matches all of that automatically. So let's take our underwater scene, the one that ended here, with the sea creature watching the empty space where Liam was. We're going to extend it to see the creature slowly turn and swim off into the deep. The extended clip picks up exactly where the original ended, with the same character position and atmosphere. We can chain as many of these as we want, extending one clip into the next, or merging full scenes together. And this is what turns a series of cool generations into something that feels like a short film. Now the only thing left is putting it all together. So for step 6, we'll pull everything into our editing tool of choice. Then we'll arrange the shot order, add a light color grade across all the scenes to unify the look, and that's basically it. But here's one trick that makes a real difference. When Seedance generates a clip with audio, the audio often runs slightly longer than the video. Sometimes the tail drops off awkwardly right at the end. If we don't fix it, we get a tiny dead beat between every cut that breaks the rhythm of the whole film. So we'll need to trim some of the clips to make sure the film flows continuously. And that's the complete framework. We started with our concept and our shot list. We locked our character sheets and used Sole ID character for max consistency. We generated keyframes inside Cinema Studio using our character and environment references. Then we animated everything with Seedance 2.0. And the reason this whole stack worked seamlessly is because every tool we used lives inside Higgsfield. There was no jumping between platforms or broken references. Now we know exactly how to build a cinematic AI short film from scratch. Everything we just did was driven by the visuals. We built the world first, and the audio came along for the ride. But music videos work the opposite way. The audio drives every single camera move. And I broke the whole thing down in another video, showcasing the exact workflow for building a cinematic AI music video using Seedance and Suno. Click the video on screen now.